Okay, last one.
Oh, is there? Oh, yeah, I went to Ben. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Elena, affirmations. I have another question. Does the affirmations work? Some people say yes, but others say no. I feel energy moving through my body when I say it from my heart, and I'm very present. Sometimes I even feel relief and goosebumps. I don't feel like it does so much work, though, and I know this, but the question is, do affirmations have their place in this journey? So, you know, what you described would be the only way that affirmations could be useful. So if affirmations lead to some kind of emotional release, you said goosebumps, that could be a little bit of fear or whatever it is. Um, that's the only way that it would be useful. So some people, for example, there's the Hawaiian one, Ho'oponopono, which is like I love you, I'm sorry, forgive me. There's like four sayings. For some people that are so full of, they have grudges against people, they're full of resentment. They won't even be able to say the word, like for example, Mary, I forgive you. They can't because they're so full of resentment. So if someone like that, who is so closed up, heard about that and they're even remotely open to saying the things, that would be very powerful for that person. But as you go deeper and deeper, affirmations then will kind of lose their effect. So it's like saying I'm rich or I'm happy, or eventually it kind of becomes, so if you use it to kind of pretend that you're not feeling discomfort, then it's useless. So then it's like you're feeling anxiety, I'm peaceful, or whatever the affirmation is, then it's useless. But if it helps you in those ways, then it has a place.
Yeah. I mean, I would go beyond useless as in harmful as well. Because, well, in a sense, because if it depends exactly what you mean by affirmations, but if you're using them as ways to escape what's happening by saying that you are something that you're not, for example, like you feel very bad in the moment you say that. You know, I am grateful, I'm positive, I'm in, abundance is a term that's used a lot. I'm in a state of abundance, or I am this, I am that. My family are healthy and happy. If they're not, if they're taking you out of a place of discomfort, then they are denying the here and now, and they are being used as a band-aid, or to paper over what's happening. And it's another very tempting egoic trick and tool to I mean, the ego just loves special magical devices that it can use to escape the here and now and get something better than it has, and just feel good and live forever. Those are the things that it always wants to do. Um, so I think it can be useful, not in the way that it supposedly is useful. It can be useful when you realize you're doing it to escape discomfort now. Then you can realize that you've latched onto something and you need to have a look. Again, not like I must look. If it's too painful, it's too painful. But if you're able to put your attention on what's happening, this discomfort, then that can lead to something productive. Um, so yeah, all of these things. I think me and Steve will talk about these a lot because these are the specific things that we sort of seek to demystify. Affirmations, manifestation, realms, uh,
Kundalini.
Kundalini, astro traveling. All of these things are powerful distractions ultimately. But once you can see through them as a denial, an absolute rejection, an egoic rejection of the pain of the body right here and right now, then they become these tools that of realization that you're just trying to escape. But it's so painful that of course it is baby steps, and relinquishing um, the need for these things isn't always an immediate thing. So, but again, I'm sure we'll talk much more about these things.
Yeah, and the last thing I wanted to add is that, I know what they mean by affirmations, but the only affirmations that I would recommend, they wouldn't call them affirmations, but it is to use your voice to say things out loud. when you are alone, and it actually would be pretty much the negative stuff. And it is actually very powerful to use your voice when you're alone to be as real as possible about the pain. And you can play with things. You can even kind of look up at the sky and say God, if that helps you. Sometimes I say Father, even though I'm talking about myself, I feel like, there's this loving Father. You can say whatever you want, almost like if you're in deep pain, you become that pain, that little child that's saying Father. And then you can say stuff like, I'm in so much pain and I don't want to feel pain anymore. Can't it just stop? That's so innocent and so honest that that can make you cry. And so you can play with that. So that would be my type of affirmation, to speak the pain out. And when you dare to speak, to say things that you think are maybe embarrassing, this is too much, this is too emotional, when you go and you say those things out loud, that's when the crying happens. So it's an easy way to access your tears.
Yeah. And also the things that you're supposedly trying to escape from situationally are tainted by the pain that you experience because when pain starts to be alleviated through actually processing it, your external environment and which may well not change at all, your relation to it completely changes. So, an affirmation or a manifestation to be somewhere different or a circumstance to be different, it might seem like that is the thing that you desperately want to escape. But as this process happens and you process your emotions, your relationship to the circumstance changes dramatically, and the resistance to it just, as you cry, your resistance goes down, and it's just simply a different reality, a much better one, by the way.